Welcome to PeopleTools Tech Tips. I'm Randy Groncki. Today, in part 7 of our Build Insights series, we're going to create our first visualization, a metric. Before we start, a little housekeeping. As I mentioned, this is part 7 of our series on creating Insights dashboards. I assume you have already created an index pattern in part 5 available here. Look for links below to review the other videos in the series. On the other hand, you can just watch through this and get a general idea about metrics. So, what is a metric? A metric is just a big, simple number tile that shows us one key value like headcount or the number of rows in our data. Let's build a metric. Navigate to Insights, then navigate to Visualize, and click the Create Visualization button. Choose the metric visualization. Then choose your index pattern. I'm going to use the training index data pattern we created in episode 5. Your basic default metric visualization appears. This 241 number is the account of all documents in your index pattern. I like this, but let's fix it up a little bit. Add a better label in the metrics options. Click Update when you're done. Then let's fix the font to something a little smaller. Click on the Options tab and scroll to the bottom where we see Style. I'm going to adjust the font size to something a little smaller. Click Update again and see our changes. Then click Save. We have a lot of characters to work with here, so I like to name it something more descriptive. I name it after the index and the visualization type and something to better describe the visualization. That's it. Congratulations, you created your first visualization, a metric. Let's create another visualization. This metric will show the average length of the classes our employees have taken. Create a metric visualization the same as we just did. In the metrics box on the left, click on the twisty and open the dialog box. Change aggregation type to average. A field box opens below that box. Insights need a numeric field to calculate the averages. Click the drop down and you can see all the numeric fields in your index pattern. I'm picking course duration. While we're here, add a more descriptive label and then click the update button. We see our metric has changed to show that the average course length is 5.369 days. Save our metric and give it a descriptive name like we did before. Looking at our metric, it looks a little too precise with the decimals. I'm not sure how long a thousandth of a day is, but I'm pretty sure our users won't find that useful either. Let's go back to our index pattern and update the display format on the course duration field to just 1 decimal. Look for a link below and see our video here on formatting numbers in Insights dashboards. Going back to our average metric, we see that the average course length is something much more attractive than before. Insights allow us to split our metrics between field values. Think of this as splitting a dinner check with friends. Create a new metric visualization as before. Now, in the Buckets box, click on the Add link and add a split group. Aggregation is terms. This means we're going to use a field in the data set. Select the company field and click the Update button. The metric split into 5 different counts, each for the top companies in our data. But we had more classes and more companies than this in our data. Why do we only see these 5? The reason we only see these 5 companies is because the bucket size in our selection defaulted to 5. We see the top 5 grouping by company descending as per our default choices. Let's change that to 9 and see what happens. Now we see the top 9 companies, but I know there's still more data than that. Click on the Group Other Values in Separate Bucket option and update. We see the last number labeled Other and has the balance of all other classes. We click on that. Insights applies the filter and we see what made up those other classes. Clear out our filter and the larger companies reappear. I like this metric. I'm going to update the font size and save. For our last visualization, we're going to add filters. Filters allow us to only count the slices of data we are concerned about. For this example, I only want to see the average class length of classes with begin and end dates, and then from only 3 specific companies. Create a new metric visualization like before and change our aggregation to average of the course durations as we did before. I'll give it a label of average days. Then add a split buckets as we did in our last example. Click Update and we see our averages by company metric. Change the font size so it's not so large. Save this metric to a new descriptive name. Click on the Add Filter link in the upper left corner. Choose Course Start Date in the field. Choose Exist as the operator. Save. You see our numbers just changed. Add another filter. Choose Course End Date as the field. Choose Exist as the operator. Save. Our numbers change again. Add another filter. Choose Companies field. Choose Is One Of as the operator. Choose 3 companies from the list. Save. And now, only the metrics for those 3 companies display. This is how we can use filters to zoom in on the data we need to show on our dashboard. I'm going to remove the company filter so we see everything and save again. We now have 4 new insights objects for our project besides the index pattern. Let's save them off as a backup. Metrics are simple yet powerful insights visualizations. How are you going to use them in your insights dashboards? In our next video and post, we're going to use these visualizations we just built and create our first dashboard. Thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to our channel, and we'll see you next time here on PeopleTools Tech Tips.